What if the world around you doesn't exist until you notice it? That sounds insane, but it's not science fiction. It's physics. The universe, it turns out, behaves differently when it's being watched. When no one looks, reality drifts into a haze of possibilities. When someone does, it snaps into form. Precise, definite, real. This isn't magic. It's the observer effect. The most unsettling truth ever discovered. That maybe everything you see is only there because you looked. It all began with one of the simplest yet most mysterious experiments ever performed, the double-slit experiment. Physicists fired tiny particles, one by one, toward a barrier with two narrow slits. You'd expect two clear bands of impact on the wall behind it, but when no one watched, something astonishing happened. The particles didn't act like solid things. They spread out like waves, interfering with themselves, as if each particle passed through both slits at once. But the moment someone measured which slit the particle went through, the wave disappeared. The interference vanished. Each particle suddenly acted like a single localized object again. Observation changed the outcome. The act of looking forced the universe to make a decision. Before you looked, reality existed in a cloud of probabilities. After you looked, it chose. Quantum mechanics tells us that before observation, particles don't exist in a fixed state. They exist as a superposition. Many possibilities, all real at once. They are not here or there. They are everywhere and nowhere simultaneously. But the instant you observe them, the wave function, the mathematical cloud of potential outcomes, collapses into one specific result. The act of measuring transforms possibility into fact. It's like reality is waiting behind a curtain of uncertainty, and the moment you pull it back, the universe says, "Now I must decide what to be." This isn't just poetic, it's measurable. Experiments prove that measurement itself, not human emotion, not belief, physically changes the system being measured. Reality doesn't exist as a fixed movie reel. It's more like a live performance, and the observer is part of the act. Albert Einstein was deeply troubled by this. He spent decades arguing against the idea that the universe could be so uncertain, so dependent on observation. He famously said, "I like to think the moon is there, even when I'm not looking at it." To him, physics should describe a world that exists independently of us, a world with definite properties, whether or not anyone checks. But Niels Bohr, Einstein's philosophical rival, disagreed. Bohr believed that quantum mechanics wasn't incomplete. It was simply showing us a truth deeper than intuition could grasp. He said that no phenomenon is a phenomenon until it is observed. The act of measurement, for Bohr, wasn't an interruption of nature. It was a part of nature. To observe is to participate. The universe isn't a stage that we stand upon. It's a process that includes us. If that's true, then an even stranger question arises. What happened before there were observers? Before life? Before eyes? Before awareness? Did the universe exist in a vast fog of potential, waiting to be witnessed? Physicist John Wheeler proposed something remarkable, the participatory anthropic principle. He suggested that observation doesn't just shape the present, it can shape the past, that the act of measurement can reach backward in time, solidifying events that were once uncertain. In other words, maybe the universe needed observers, not from the beginning, but in the end, to bring its entire history into being. Maybe the moon has always been there, because one day, someone would look up and see it. In this view, the universe isn't a story written long ago. It's a question constantly being answered. And you, right now, are part of that answer. Does this mean your mind literally creates reality? Not quite. Most physicists agree it's not human consciousness that causes reality to appear. It's interaction itself. Whenever two systems exchange information, a kind of observation occurs. When a photon hits a mirror, when an electron meets an atom, the universe observes itself. But there's still something profoundly mysterious about awareness. Consciousness is the only thing we know directly, the one thing through which the entire universe is known. So maybe in some deeper sense, consciousness and the cosmos are not separate things. Maybe when you open your eyes, you are not simply a creature observing a world. You are the universe becoming aware of its own existence. So is reality real without you? Maybe not in the way you imagine. Reality isn't a frozen landscape waiting to be seen. It's a living, breathing process. A conversation between what is and what observes. Every time you look, you collapse uncertainty into truth. You collapse uncertainty into truth. You bring the invisible into being.